Who here has a cell phone with them? I'm no exception. I also have one on me. And I'm here to talk about cell phones. A study done by Baylor University says that the average college student spends up to 9 hours a day on their phone. A survey done by CNN says that 3/5 of US smartphone users can't go more than an hour without checking their phone. And a lot of experts say that whenever your phone beeps or rings, your brain gets a hit of dopamine and serotonin, which are the hormones that lead to happiness, and the same hormones that give drug users their high. So this brings me to my major claim that our generation's constant use of cell phones will result in a shorter average lifespan for us millennials. I'll back up my claim stating 3 secondary claims. First one being hunching over your phone causes long-term back problems. Second one, staying up late on your phone causes sleep deprivation. And third, cell phones are major distractions when it comes to driving and walking in public or anything that requires your full attention. So back to my first claim, that hunching over your phone causes major back problems, long-term back problems. A study done by the Surgical Technology International magazine, I think it is, says that when you have your head tilted forward looking at your phone, this can add up to 60 pounds of pressure on your neck and your cervical spine. The average head weighs like 10 to 11 pounds, maybe 12 pounds if you have a big head. But, like even just tilting forward your head 15 degrees will put the same strain on your neck as it would if your head weighed 27 pounds. And 30 degrees equates to a 40-pound head, 45 degrees a 49-pound head, and 60 degrees 60 pounds of pressure on the back of your head. It's like having a small child on your shoulders or on the top of your head. All this excess strain creates extra wear on the structures of your neck and your upper spine. And it can lead to spinal degeneration that may require surgery eventually. Chronic back pain will be the result of all this extra stress, and chronic back pain can lead to the degeneration of your immune system, which can lead to higher vulnerability to disease and things like that. My second claim is about sleep deprivation. So how many of you fall asleep with your phone on you or with you? I'm sure a lot more of you do. But how many of you drink a cup of coffee before you go to sleep? Hardly any of us, right? Well, a survey done by Huffington Post says that 63% of smartphone users aged 18 to 29 fall asleep with a cell phone with them, and 30% for older users like age 30 to 64. Nighttime cell phone usage has more of a negative effect on you than caffeine. It can actually push the exposure to the bright light of your phone can actually push your sleep schedule back further than the amount of caffeine in double espresso. So although none of us would drink a cup of coffee before we go to bed, we still use our phones, but it's actually doing more damage than it would. Let's see, this lack of sleep can lead to chronic health problems such as high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. My third claim is that cell phones cause major distractions while driving and walking out in public. Carnegie Mellon University researchers found that drivers who are just listening to someone talk on the phone without using their hands like it's legal to do results in 37% reduced brain activity. So it's not an effective, just because you're not using your hands or you're have your phone on speaker doesn't mean that you're focused on your driving or paying attention to the road. The Huffington Post says that did a study and concluded that 9 Americans are killed every day from motor vehicle accidents that involve the driver being distracted by their cell phone. The same study revealed that using a cell phone while driving increases your risk of crash by 4 times. And a study done at the University of Washington says that texting pedestrians were 4 times more likely to ignore the lights or forget to check for traffic before crossing the street. So, in summary, hunching over your phone causes major back problems that will last a lifetime and can lead to other major health problems that can lead to shorter health problems. Staying up late, sleep deprivation, that exposure to the bright light is really bad for your health and can really affect your sleep schedule in a negative way. And being distracted by your cell phone at all times is a huge hazard when it comes to tasks that require your full attention and to provide safety. And thank you. That's it.
All right, the organizational stuff is really solid. The proposition's clearly identified. There's a good preview. You signpost in the body of the speech to some degree. I think that the evidence on the first 2 points that you have that talks about potential problems is okay, but then the follow-up that suggests that that's going to lead to long-term issues is all asserted for the most part, and you need to have some evidence that talks about those kinds of things. You suggest, for example, the back problems and chronic pain make us more vulnerable to a variety of issues and diseases, but I don't hear any data on that, and that's like just an assertion on your part. The same thing is true pretty much on the issue of lack of sleep, and I know that there's data on some of these points, but it's not in your argument, and I think that's problematic. The one part of your argument that you has the best attempt to quantify and show long-term or at least short-term effects that are quantifiable is the last part, and I think that there's probably not a lot of dispute on some of that. There's not a huge amount of controversy on that, although the degree to which it had as an impact I thought was nicely quantified by you, and that's helpful. There's a good solid summary at the end of the speech also. I'm being a little cryptic because I want to get in our last